Right, so I'm gonna teach you how to make a delicious Margherita pizza. This will also be my first time making it, so it'll be kind of interesting. So first we'll start by mixing water, sugar, and yeast. By the way, if you were to leave this for about 3 days, you get yourself sugar wine. Now just leave this aside for about 15 minutes till it starts bubbling. Now onto the flour. Now you don't have to sieve it, but mine was looking a little chunky, a little clumpy, so I gave it a sieve. Throw your salt in. Now we're gonna mix it all in and make a pit. I don't think a pit is really necessary unless you're working on a table. Throw in some oil and then mix it all up. Now we're gonna add extra water that we were meant to actually add earlier. It's time to get a little bit more hands-on to make this dough. You wanna be doing this for about 8 minutes till the dough is kind of like an old pillow. I did also add fists of flour here and there because it was getting kind of sticky. I'd say this is just about the hardest part of it, just not knowing if you're doing the right or wrong thing, but if I could do it, anyone could. Now we're gonna cover it with a damp cloth and let it sit for about an hour. Now while that's sitting, we're gonna move on to the sauce. Throw in some Evo and some chopped garlic and play around with that for about a minute. And then we'll add in our tomato puree. You can also use a different sort of tomato sauce. Now we're gonna add oregano, pepper, and salt. Now just let them get to know each other for about 20 minutes on low heat with some privacy. Back to the dough. As you can see, it's risen on the third day, about after an hour. It was time to get them onto our pizza pans. Unfortunately for me, I realized I didn't have any pizza pans, but I did have cake pans. Throw on some flour to avoid sticking and then your dough. Now this bit here was no Mona Lisa drawing, or it was no Taj Mahal, but we eventually got it stretched out sorta nicely. Now we're gonna spread the sauce onto the dough. Honestly, this was the best part about making this. It was just the sauce was so delicious and so simple and easy to make. This may also be a contender for the best part about making this, is this cheap processed mozzarella. I don't have budget for the good stuff. Sprinkle some olive oil on for a laugh and then toss it in the oven. Also, you want your oven set to 230°C on parallel line. Look at these beauties. Now it's time to garnish them with basil. Also, I turn them back in the oven for another minute to let the basil melt in a bit better. Removing it from the cake pan, I've come to realize that it was a little bit fat, a little bit thick, a little bit doughy, but it did look good from a top angle. In hindsight, I would have used a pizza pan or even the oven sheet, but I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. So aside from the flavorless dough at the bottom, it was pretty good. Thanks for watching.